Hey guys, before this video starts, I just want to let you know that this video is not supposed to be political. I'm just simply reviewing an artist's take on some NFL logos. Nothing political at all, so let's start the video. For the Arizona Cardinals, we have the Trump face in a profile shot, and instead of the actual Cardinals beak, basically it has the whole Trump face and it's yellow. The eye is a little bit weird in my opinion. It's like concave. But for his hair, they made it like the Cardinals' feathers and like the back of the Cardinal. So it basically is Donald Trump with some pretty wacky hair. And I think the colors really match the Arizona Cardinals. And this is an interesting take of the Arizona Cardinals logo as Donald Trump. For the Atlanta Falcons, this logo is mostly all black and it uses the Trump face. But his toupee is in the Falcon style with the feathers. You can see the red, the white, and the black as the hair. This logo seems to have a lot more black than I would like it to have. I feel like they should add some red into this logo to better resemble the Falcons. But overall, it has the proper colors, and it does look like Donald Trump pretty accurately. For the Baltimore Ravens, we have another profile shot of Donald Trump, and they kind of gave him like a really fat face, like his neck. He has like a double chin looking thing. Overall, the colors are pretty accurate. They got the purple, the gold, and the white. But basically, instead of his hair, they just put a Ravens logo on top. I'm not really seeing what's the purpose of that. I think the artist could have tied in the Ravens logo a little bit better than that. But overall, the colors are right, and it kind of resembles Donald Trump from the side. So there you go. Next up for the Buffalo Bills, we have a normal Buffalo Bills logo with the blue, red, and white, the buffalo in the blue shape, but usually I believe the red line is in the middle of the buffalo. This time around it's actually at the top, and it's used as like Trump's hair because you can see Trump's face on the front of the buffalo. I mean, it's very basic, very simple. It really doesn't resemble him that much, but you can tell that's what the artist is going for, and this is a decent example of Trump being a Buffalo Bill, I guess. For the Carolina Panthers, this is Donald Trump in a Carolina Panthers logo. So this logo uses the Panthers colors, which is the blue and the black and the white, and then it uses the silhouette of the actual Panthers logo. It also includes the neck that the usual Panthers logo has. But as for the face, it uses Donald Trump's face, and it's kind of a little bit scary to me. The eyes kind of look possessed because they're all white, but overall his hair looks pretty accurate, and the facial features look pretty good as well. For the Chicago Bears, instead of using their normal C logo, it's usually very simple. They use their secondary logo, which is like the bear. And this one basically is just a normal bear face that they usually have. The only thing I could really tell is that they have Trump's mouth, the mouth thing that he does that is typically associated with him. And also the hair is pretty flowy, kind of like his hair. So I guess you can argue that the eyes are similar to Trump's eyes, but I don't really see it that much. But this is the Bears logo. Just like the Bears, for the Cincinnati Bengals, they don't use the normal B in tiger stripe logo that they usually use. This one is like their secondary logo, which is the Bengal tiger, and they use Trump as the face right here. So they have the normal colors, the black, white, and orange, but they have Trump's normal face with his hair a little bit puffier this time, and it has tiger stripes across his face, kind of to represent the Bengals. So it looks pretty accurate to what he kind of looks like. It's a little bit more cartoony, but overall I think this looks pretty similar to Donald Trump. Next up for the Cleveland Browns, this is basically just a Browns logo, a normal one, just the helmet with the brown and the orange. But on the side it says Trump Football Club, and I believe the artist was trying to go for imitating the Trump organization, their kind of logo and the font that they use. That's my guess of what the artist was trying to do. And I think the font looks pretty good. Here it says Trump Football Club. I don't know if many of you guys know, but he tried to start his own football league back in the 80s, I believe, to rival the NFL. Didn't really work out, but this logo is an interesting representation of Donald Trump. Next up for the Dallas Cowboys, instead of using a normal star that the Cowboys use, it's very simple usually. The artist decided to use just Trump's face, and he made it blue and white just like the Dallas Star. This one is a little bit more recognizable. I believe there's a very famous picture of Trump looking like that. But overall, this logo represents him, and it kind of looks like him. So this is the Dallas Cowboys logo as Donald Trump. For the Denver Broncos, we have a normal Broncos logo, which is the stallion looking very intimidating, all in white with some blue accents. But instead of the normal mane, this stallion has an orange toupee type thing the hairstyle is a little bit Trumpy, and you can argue that that's basically the only thing on this logo that resembles Trump, but it's pretty iconic, and his hair is really well known. That's one of his main things. So this is what the artist tried to do for the Denver Broncos. For the Detroit Lions, this is basically just a normal Lions logo. It has the colors of the blue and the black and the white, and the overall lion body is there, but the face of the lion isn't the normal one. It has Donald Trump's face, and in this logo his face looks very indifferent, but it does resemble him a lot better than some of the other previous logos that we showed and that the artist did. So this is a better representation of what his face actually looks like. For the Green Bay Packers, this one uses the normal G logo that they normally have, but on top of that, they have Trump's signature comb over as like the G's hair. There isn't really much I could think of what the artist could have done with this logo, so that's why it's pretty simple. But if this is the best way that he could have incorporated Donald Trump into the Packers logo, I think this is a pretty good job, and it looks decent in my opinion. For the Houston Texans, this Trump logo doesn't really resemble the Houston Texans that much at all, other than the colors. The colors make sense because the blue is closer and the red is a little bit farther away from the audience. And also it has Trump's comb over haircut, but I wish that the artist would put like the star on the eye like the actual logo has. And I just wish maybe like some horns or something. It would have been a little bit better than just a simple Trump face in like different colors. So this logo, not really one of my favorites that the artist made. For the Indianapolis Colts, we have a very, very simple logo. So it basically just says Trump, and then instead of the U, it has the Indianapolis Colts horseshoe logo. And I believe the artist was trying to go for like the Trump brand, like the name that he puts on all his hotels and the name that he licenses to many of the casinos and hotels around the world. It's very recognizable, and before he was president, that's what everyone knew about Donald Trump. So this is a pretty good representation of it, in my opinion. Next up, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, we have a normal Jaguar. It's a little bit fatter in the face, kind of resembling the old age of Trump and how he's a little bit chubbier. Also, this is probably, in my opinion, the best representation of his actual hair. The hair is very detailed. You can see the streaks, you can see the shine, and out of all the logos so far that we've seen, this is the best drawing of his hair. For the Kansas City Chiefs, this is basically just their arrow tip logo with the KC on it, but instead of actually have the arrowhead's tip, we have just a Trump face on it. It's just very basic, all white with the black outline. The face doesn't really resemble him that much, but it just looks like any person yelling anyone, really. It doesn't really resemble Trump specifically, but I see what the artist was going for, and it's a pretty decent attempt. For the Los Angeles Chargers, this is one of the faces he's made, and it's really well known. It's all over the internet. He also has like a finger pointing. I'll bring it up right here just to remind you guys. So this one just uses the Chargers bolt as his eyebrows and his hair. Nothing too crazy, but I think it represents the Chargers pretty well, and the colors match really well as well. For the Los Angeles Rams, we have another profile shot of Trump, and he's looking like the Rams logo. He's got the Rams horn, and then the colors are a little bit old school. It's not what they currently use. They usually use the white for the horns, but this is a little bit of that gold that they used to use a few years ago. But the face kind of looks like Trump's, and overall, he's got the collared shirt. It looks decent and kind of represents the Rams as Trump pretty well. For the Miami Dolphins, we have the normal Dolphins logo with the sun in the background and then the blue dolphin. But instead of the normal Dolphins head, it's a Trump head. I'm not sure what he's doing, maybe yelling or something, or just... But in my opinion, it doesn't really resemble him. It looks more like Jimmy Johnson, the Cowboys coach. That's because like the hair is white and stuff. Trump's hair doesn't really look like that. So I would have changed it up a bit, but I see what the artist was doing with the Dolphins, and the colors at least match the logo, which is good. For the Minnesota Vikings, this is another profile shot of Trump, and it's in the style of the Minnesota Vikings logo. This is probably the best looking Trump logo that I've seen so far. The face looks almost identical to his. The way they made his mouth and his nose and his eyes, it just looks really good. And the hair really stands out with the Vikings helmet. And it's just an overall great logo. Looks a lot like Trump wearing a Vikings helmet. For the New England Patriots, this is also a profile shot of Trump, and he looks like he's screaming in this one. He's a little bit chubby in the face. And for his hair, instead of doing a normal style comb over toupee type thing, he decided to use like the end of a normal Patriots logo, like the two lines at the end, and then he reversed it and made it Trump's hair. So that's an interesting design, an interesting choice. Probably not something I'd go with, but this is the logo for the New England Patriots. For the New Orleans Saints, this logo is of a middle finger in the Saints colors and the color scheme. I'm not exactly sure what this is referring to. Maybe one of you in the comment section who are pretty kept up on politics and Trump or whatever can let me know. But this is basically just a simple middle finger in the Saints colors. Very basic, nothing too crazy. Doesn't really resemble Trump in my opinion, but maybe, I don't know. So let me know. Next up, for the New York Giants, we have an older style Giants logo where the words say Giants, which is not the normal NY that you see now, but this logo has giant ego on it, which is referring to what a lot of people think Trump has, a giant ego. And this one basically is just in the normal Giants colors, nothing too crazy, but says giant ego referring to Trump. So that's what we have for the New York Giants. For the New York Jets, we have this logo that says no immigrants instead of New York Jets on here. And I believe this is referring to the policy that Trump ran on for his political campaign, where he wanted to eliminate illegal immigration and wanted to build the wall that everyone knows about. So this is a pretty good representation of it. This logo is just a normal Jets, like an oval style with no immigrants on it. It makes sense a lot for the New York Jets and is a decent attempt by the artist. For the Oakland Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders, or wherever they're going to play this year, we have a "You're Fired" shield in the normal Oakland Raiders style, and it's Trump yelling with an eye patch. And this is, I'm guessing, referring to his time on The Apprentice, where he used to fire people if they didn't do the task properly that the show had. So this is basically what this is referring to, and it's a pretty good looking Trump face in my opinion. For the Philadelphia Eagles, we have a very detailed Trump face, which I'm a big fan of. This really resembles him pretty well. And instead of his normal hair, they have the Philadelphia Eagles feathers, I guess, from the back, the neck part of the eagle that the normal logo has. So this is a really good logo, in my opinion, the combination of the two. And the colors match really well and just looks overall really good because of the detail on the face. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, we have a normal Steelers logo with the 2 stars, but instead of the third, it's Trump's comb-over hair. And instead of saying Steelers in the middle of it, it says Trump's, which is referring to Donald Trump. Nothing too crazy for the Steelers logo. I don't think it really resembles anything. The only real connection in this logo to Trump is the hair and the words Trump's. Nothing really making fun of him too much, but I see what the point of this logo is, and I see why the artist did it. For the San Francisco 49ers, we have the normal San Francisco 49ers logo, which usually says SF, but this one says FU for, my guess, fuck you. And I'm not really sure what this is referring to. Maybe Trump said it at one point. Maybe it's the artist's opinion on Trump. I can't really tell. But this is what he made for the logo, and the U is a little bit crooked in my opinion. It kind of looks a little bit off, so there's that. But this is the San Francisco 49ers logo made by the artist. For the Seattle Seahawks, this is another shot of Trump from the side, and it doesn't use as much green as I'd like for the Seattle Seahawks, but it does have his hair in the 2 different colors, the dark blue that the Seahawks are known for and the gray. So it does kind of resemble their logo with like the colors and the, I guess, the general design, but it doesn't really have the length that the Seahawks logo has. Like, it's almost like a rectangle. So this one, not very accurate in my opinion. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is actually just a really funny logo to me for some reason. It's just a normal Tampa Bay Buccaneers logo with the flag and then the skull and the sabers. But the skull itself has a Trump hairstyle, like the comb over, and it's all blonde. It's funny to me for some reason because like skeletons can't grow hair. Just looks interesting to me, and it's an interesting design. For the Tennessee Titans, this logo is a fireball, I guess, which is the normal Tennessee Titans logo. It has the blue colors and the red and the dark blue, but inside the circular part, it's just a face of Donald Trump and doing one of his signature faces with the lips and everything. So it's pretty detailed, but I don't think it's really accurate to what he actually looks like. Like, I see it generally is, but not exactly. So not a big fan of this one. but this is the Tennessee Titans logo. Finally, for the Washington Redskins, this is a normal logo that they have with the 2 feathers sticking up and the circle, but instead of the Native American in the middle of the logo, it actually has a picture of Donald Trump, which I think looks pretty accurate to him. He looks a little bit beefier, a little bit fatter in this one, but the blonde hair looks good, very luscious, very flowy, and the eyebrows, very blonde, looks great. Probably one of the better logos in this set, so this is a pretty good way of ending it off. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please comment down below what you thought about all these logos, and make sure you click the like button, subscribe if you're brand new, and check out one of these 2 videos on screen. You might like them, you never know.